Of course, Manchester City champions, Kieran. I don't know if you noticed that. Arsenal finishing second. A lot of rhetoric, a lot of narrative around Arsenal and their performance over the last couple of months. So I'll ask the question a lot of people are accusing Arsenal of. Do you think they choked? Do you think they bottled it?
Dan, how many times are you going to ask me this? You know what I think about this.
I can't remember, Kieran. You know, I'm busy. I'm a busy man. I've got to speak to a lot of people.
They run out of gas. But I said, you know, if a lot of these results, if they had have happened over the season, that we wouldn't be having the same reaction. So it just shows that they're close. And I think with a summer with a few hundred million in the bank and invested into the team, that final stretch will make the difference. So in the long run, I'm not worried at all.
When you're on next, Kieran, I'll ask you again. That'll be it. We saw Sakas sign a new contract today, of course, a major part of Arsenal's success this season. So let me ask you this, Kieran. If we're playing a pickup game and you've got a whole Arsenal squad to choose from, who's your first pick?
Ødegaard first, and then Saka. Ødegaard first, and then Saka. Yeah, but I mean, listen, it's brilliant news for the club with Saka. I was never in doubt that he was. I don't think anyone was in doubt that he was going to sign. He's an Arsenal boy. Everyone knows how much he loves the club. And he's been the best and most consistent player over the last few years. He's a true gem. He really is. Incredible numbers for his age. You could tell he was a good player when he first came in, but to see him take his game to another level year after year, and you know, kind of witness him go from that boy to a man, to a young man. It's what you see of the true Premier League greats. So I think that's what we have on our hands here. And you know, if he stays injury free, there's no telling what he can do for the club. I'm a bit worried just from the sheer load that he was putting in from such a young age. But he's proven that he can cope with the demands at the highest level. He's been key in getting the club back to where it belongs after 6-7 years. Now I think he does need competition now, though. You know, back playing in the Champions League. Arsenal just can't rely on him every 3 days. He's going to be playing for England as well. You know, he might get away with it for the first half of the season, but it's just in that final stretch, you know, like we've seen with the club this season, fatigue can kick in. But yeah, I mean, listen, brilliant news for the club. He's so young. He's got years ahead of him.
He's great, but not as good as Ødegaard. That's where we're going, Kieran. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Who are you picking in my pickup game?
I tell you, I'm surprised about that. That's a lot of mileage for a 21-year-old. That's between 150.
All the matches he's playing.
That's between 150 and 200 appearances, and he's only 21. That's a lot. That kind of explains why recently he's been a little. I know, as good as he's been, it's hard to keep that level up from start to finish. But he has no question had a little drop off recently. But looking at those numbers tells you why, and that tells you also why Arsenal have to strengthen the squad, not just the starting 11, but the squad, because Arteta is going to have to be in a position where he can do what his old boss Pep does at Manchester City and give people a rest, like Saka, because if he's continuing to rack up those numbers every year, then don't be surprised if he does run out of steam at the end of every season.
What about my question?
I would probably go Saka.
Would you?
Yeah. I think they can win games with somebody else in that position with Ødegaard. I don't think they win as many games if Saka's not playing.
Shaka, you have the deciding vote.
Ramsdale.
Yeah, I knew you were going to be in it. I knew you were going to do that.
Silly question.
Yeah, I know. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.